Okay, so how do I practice wedges, or how would you go ahead and practice your wedges? Well, number one, if you don't have a solid wedge system in play, go ahead and practice different positions. For example, you can go belt high to belt high, rib cage to rib cage, shoulder to shoulder, and I normally steer away from full wedge swings only because it's adding spin to your shots and not distance when you have a higher lofted club such as a wedge. Okay, for the most part, the only time I will make a full swing with a wedge is if I'm downwind. Okay, because downwind it's going to help take some spin off, and it won't, once it lands on the green, it won't come back. Okay, because that's one thing I hate to watch, is hitting a great wedge, it ending up 3 feet from the flag and then coming all the way back to about 20 feet. Okay, so I only make full swings with wedges when I'm downwind. Now, practicing wedges. How would you go about this? Well, number one, only use two different ball positions, and that's back or front, never in the middle. And I really, really like that form of thinking because, again, we're trying to keep it simple. Okay, so the more you alter ball positions, the more variables you're throwing into the equation. We want to eliminate that, especially with the wedges in the short game. Okay, the more variables you can eliminate in any part of your game, the more consistent you're going to be. So if I'm practicing wedges, I tend to get a little steep on my wedges. Okay, I take a bigger size divot than I really should sometimes. Now, when I notice that, when I'm doing that on the golf course, more likely I'm using too much arms and not enough body turn. Okay, so with my legs pretty close together, I'm not going to have a lot of lower body movement, but I really want to encourage me swinging this club with my upper body. Okay, my feet being close together, it's going to limit lower body turn. So what I'll do is I'll make sure that I get a really wide feeling. Okay, I'm never going to take the wedge out here when I'm actually hitting the golf ball. It's just a feel that I have when I'm struggling to take smaller divots. So let's go ahead and do it. You can see I didn't take a lot of grass there. Okay, and that's because it's shallowing my angle of attack. If I take this club straight up, I'm not going to throw it out to shallow it. When I go wide back, it's going to shallow my angle of attack in transition. And what does that mean? Allow me to elaborate a little bit. So when I'm wide here, naturally in the transition, because I'm taught to strike down on the golf ball, I'm not going to throw the club out. I'm going to attack the ball and rotate through. And that's what shallowing out kind of means by when I say I'm taking it wider back, because then I get the wrist angle, I get the proper delivery into the golf ball. So when I take it wide, it automatically gets me into the right position. So I'm going to turn, get my arms away. You can see here that I'm not taking as big of a divot as I was beforehand. Okay? One more time. So one thing I monitor in my wedge game is my takeaway. When I'm getting too steep and I'm taking big divots on the golf course, I know exactly where it's coming from. It's lack of rotation and lack of width in my backswing. So again, weight forward, ball slightly back in my stance. I'm going to feel wide, and I'm going to feel that I'm moving this club with my upper body. And there you have it. Okay, it's a much cleaner strike, and you're going to get a lot more control out of your wedges.